It has been an entire year since I started selling on Poshmark Canada, Depop, and eBay. And today I'm going to share everything with you. I'm going to share you my exact real numbers, not just the good ones. I'm going to share the bad ones of what I've been making over the past year reselling. We're going to talk about all of the things that I've learned, and then we're also going to talk about all of the mistakes I have made over the past year in hopes that you don't make the same mistakes I did. We have so many new subscribers on the channel, so thank you so much for being here. I thought maybe it would be a good opportunity to start with a little backstory. I became a reseller in October of 2024. And I can't tell you why I started reselling. I'm pretty sure it was just because I was watching a YouTube video and I thought, well, I could do that. And my entire life, I've always had some sort of a side hustle or a second job. I love being creative. I love keeping busy. So now that my kids are a little bit older, I have been dabbling over the last, I would say, maybe 6 to 7 years of doing things. Owned a few businesses along the way. I do have a full-time job, so this reselling is part-time for me. But honestly, it might as well be my second job. I work on reselling and the YouTube channel every minute of every day that I am not working in my office job. But I love it. I love it so much. I love keeping busy, but I love a lot of the aspects of reselling and doing the YouTube channel at the same time because everything is always changing and I always have something new to do, whether it's making a video like this for the channel or I'm creating templates for everyone. And then also I get to do the reselling side of it, the sourcing and the listing and all of that stuff. So I am a workaholic, I guess you could call it. I never am small. I go big or go home. I give everything 120%. And sometimes that can be a difficult thing for me because then I tend to burn out a little bit faster. So I have taken a better pace at becoming a reseller, making sure that I do give myself time off and I'm not trying to overwork myself and exhaust myself out. That's where I'm at right now. I have lots of notes down here to go through. So forgive me for looking down all the time, but I do have my notes and I want to make sure I stick to them because I don't want to miss anything for you. Poshmark Canada was the very first platform that I started selling on. And about 3 months after I started on Poshmark, I started selling on eBay. Poshmark is a very easy platform to sell on. And I got the hang of it really, really quick. eBay can be a little bit more complicated with the shipping, but found it pretty easy to work out. About 3 months ago, I started selling on Depop, and it's a very easy platform to sell on and to kind of navigate. But I've been having a good success on Depop. Let's start off with my first big sale that I ever had as a reseller. This particular item sold, I would say, 4 months into my reselling journey. I found this dress. It's a Miramarco dress. It is a vintage print custom textile. And I actually sold this dress for $140 on eBay, and it actually got shipped to Japan. I was so excited to find this dress. It was super unique. And as soon as I saw it, I knew there was something different about it and unique about it. So I did do some research on it because of the custom textile that it was actually made. It got shipped over to Japan with no problems. At the time, we did not have international shipping with eBay. I think she paid $27 for it to get shipped over there. And within a couple weeks, she received it and she loved it. So that was really exciting. It always feels good to get your first big sale in. I think I might have paid $10 for the dress. I can't remember. So that was really, really great. Let's talk about being consistent on the platform because I really do believe that that might be my biggest tip for new resellers, or if you want to really get into the business of reselling. Consistency is a huge thing. And I feel like I started getting more and more consistent sales when I had about 150 items listed. I feel like things started to really take off then. And that was really, really great. I was so happy about that. And at the time where I had 150 listings, I was only listing 3 to 4 items per week. But I was really just trying to do it very consistent. Like I would list one item every other day because I didn't have the inventory to list any more than that. I didn't have the time to inventory a whole lot. I didn't really have the money yet to go out and source inventory. I did start with my own personal items. That didn't last very long though. And I started sourcing elsewhere. Let's get into the total numbers because that's why we're here. So the first part of this video, we're going to talk about real numbers. So this is my whole year. Let's take a look. My first year of reselling my numbers, my total sales were $7,406. I sold 225 items. My cost of goods were $2,625. My total profit, now this is after platform fees, any shipping that I had to do, and cost of goods. That's it. That's the only thing. So my total profit from my clothing or my items that I sold was $4,382. You can take a look here at the numbers. Poshmark, I sold 194. eBay, I sold 47 items. And then Depop, only 11 items. And at the time, I had just started selling on eBay. So that's the reason why the numbers are so low for that. I am happy with these numbers for my first year of reselling because I started off with, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to source. I didn't know anything about inventory. And time, having a full-time job and doing this part-time, excuse me, I really do feel like these numbers are really great as a Canadian reseller. Here, I want to show you my monthly growth of sales. And I think this is really important because it actually shows you how quickly I grew, but then also how amazing my September of 2025 went, was my best-selling month. So my highest sales were $1,348, and that was in the month of September. You can see here, though, things were really climbing. October, November, December, and January, I had a really great sales month. But then everything kind of dropped in February, and I know I was not the only reseller that was struggling for the month of February in 2025. I can't remember exactly what was going on in the world, but I think we were having some hiccups with shipping and maybe tariffs were coming into play. But then from then on, I really did climb up, and I was very happy about that. And as you can see, July and August, which are the slowest months for any reseller out there, it just kind of made sense and came and just kind of everybody wanted to shop, or I had everything that everybody wanted to shop for. So that was really exciting. So let's look into the platform and category breakdown. And I just wanted to show you these two charts that I made, and you can kind of see it now, and it makes sense. For the platform sales breakdown, you can see how Poshmark just completely blew the other two out of the water for me. My sales are always so much better on Poshmark. I can't really compare Depop because I haven't been on it long enough, but you can see how it towers over even my eBay sales. On the pie chart too, this is my item sales breakdown, and the most sales I had were actually dresses, which I was kind of surprised about, but makes sense. I sell the most amount of dresses. Usually dresses tend to be a little bit more expensive, maybe than when you're talking jeans or shirts or anything like that. So maybe that is the reason why I have a higher sales on the dresses. Tops only came in just underneath at $925 worth of sales, and then sweaters came in third at $692. So that's very interesting to know. And when I first found out these numbers, I actually started making sure that I source more dresses than I was before. Because before I was focusing a lot more on women's tops, whether they're sweaters or t-shirts or long sleeve blouses or anything like that. But now I actually source or kind of make it a habit to go into the dress section and spend a little bit more time there because I can see how my sales are up really high in the dress department. Now let's get into the operating costs, because this is the spot where most people forget that they have these big overhead operating costs. I mean, I shouldn't say big because mine's not big, but this is where you have those operating costs, and this is the time where it takes all of your money and you don't want it to. So let's talk about that. So we're talking about shipping supplies, which of course are the poly mailers or boxes or anything like that. I'm talking about like inventory supplies as well. So we're talking about my bags that I use for inventory. If I purchase any Rubbermaid bins or any shelving units to keep my inventory. And a lot of these operating costs for my first year are like just only one-time buys. For example, like my clothing steamer, my clothing shaver, my thermal printer, and the labels. I mean, eventually those will all like kind of, eventually I'll have to replace those, but those are really just a one-time cost. But this is why my operating cost on my first year is high, because this is what you have to buy in the beginning. You can see here, after talking about all of those operating costs, my total was $773 of operating costs. Now, also though, I am not including any gas. I'm not talking about wear on my car. I am not talking about any food that I had to purchase because I was outsourcing or anything like that. And you also have to remember too, is that we're using our cell phones and our tablets or our PCs for all of this business stuff, which I've already had, but you also have to think about it has to, it's not called wear and tear. I'm trying to think of what, there's a word for it. It's deteriorating, or it's something like that. I'll put the word up here that I'm trying to explain. But you know what I mean? So there's a lot more things that go into the operating costs that you don't really think about. And of course, the biggest one is time. I did not include time in here. So, you know, if I was technically paying myself per hour, it would be much, much higher. So now we're going to go back and we're going to minus the profit that I made all off the, we're going to take out the operating costs, and my total sales that I have made in my first year as a reseller is $3,609. It's not anything to brag about, you know, but this is, I think, a good achievement when it comes to a part-time reseller in their first year. If you are going to take this reselling business and try to create it into a full-time business, or maybe more than a part-time business, this is definitely a marathon. This is like a stretch of, you know, you're building a business, and it does not happen overnight. It definitely doesn't even happen within a year, especially if you're starting out small with like zero capital. But so I'm really happy about what has happened when it comes to the numbers. All right, so let's touch on some of my top selling brands I've had for the past year. Again, just to remind you, I am in Canada, so we definitely find different items than we do in the States. But some of these ring true for both sides, I believe. So here we are. I sold 12 LL Bean items, and I'm not really surprised by that. It is a very good quality brand. And I do normally pick up LL Bean when I am out. They do have a great sell-through rate. And also, because they're of like a higher quality, people are willing to spend a little bit more. So my sales, just my regular sales, are pretty high when it comes to LL Bean. I sold 9 Lululemon items. And I know these like specific like brands it doesn't sound like a lot. Like I only sold 9 Lululemon items. But I guess if you just kind of bunch it all together, I really did want to talk about like my top sellers. So the 9 Lululemons I was kind of surprised about, but then as I was looking back over it, I have sold a couple of like unique pieces. And when I talk about Lululemon, they're unique pieces. I mean things like more like substantial sweaters, not necessarily leggings or shorts or anything like that. But I sold a cape this year. I also sold one of my, when I first started, I sold a really nice like corduroy jacket zip up that you don't normally see as well. Next up, Free People, 7 Free People items. So I'm still trying to keep my eye out for Free People, as long as it's like a substantial piece. I have sold a few Free People very quickly as well. Ralph Lauren, 5 items. I was kind of surprised by this too. I I'm picky about Lauren Love Lauren. I did have quite a few things sit quite a while, so I just make sure they, again, more substantial pieces. 5 American Eagle, which I think is great. I'm always finding American Eagle airy, and I really want to try to figure out how to resell these better because I find them all the time, and I'm really trying to work on selling what is in my area, what I can find a lot of. So this is like my goal in the next year is to start figuring out and researching the brands that I always find. Abercrombie and Finch is 5, which is not a surprise. I have sold quite like a few pairs of jeans, a couple of sweaters. I was kind of happy to see that Zara was in the top 10 as well. I sold 4 of those. Spanx, 3, which were all 3 Spanx that I found. Tentree is another great brand for me. I do really well with them. They're kind of like a nature sort of brand, like organic cotton and things like that. And then I was kind of surprised too to see J. Crew at 3 pieces because I kind of always complain that J. Crew doesn't sell over here. I do have a few J. Crew pieces that are just sitting in my closet. But it did come into the top. So anything after that, any brands after that J. Crew number 3, it went down from 2 items to 1 item, and then that was it. So that's why I didn't put those other ones up. But it was kind of interesting to see if you guys want to take a look at this again or take a screenshot of it just to keep it in your back pocket so that when you're sourcing, maybe you'd like to look for these and start bringing them into your closet and see how they work well for you. All right, let's talk about the systems and tools that have helped me as a reseller in my first year. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about, of course, Prime Lister. I have used them for my Poshmark automation. This is one that I have promoted quite a bit in the past. I have been using them since day one. I did not hesitate to grab a Poshmark bot to help me share and follow and like and send offers and send and do relisting and things like that. They've also come out with a couple of new additions since then, and it's been going really, really well for me. And Prime Lister was one of the cheaper ones for Canadians that I could find because I know the bots and I know all the apps can really add up because it's like one thing after another. Okay, so I really do love Prime Lister, and this is not sponsored by them at all. But if you want more information, at the bottom, hit my link below, and you can get all the great 7-day free and all that stuff. So the next thing that has really helped me as a reseller, and I think this is one of the most important things of reselling, is research. There's so many things changing all of the time. There's so many new things to learn. When I am not physically working on these things, I am watching YouTube videos. I am reading vlogs. I'm watching all of the fashion shows. Especially all of the other YouTubers that will share with you of their what sold videos or what they're picking up and why they're picking up. So research is huge. It's a big deal because if you don't know what to sell on Poshmark or any of the platforms, then you don't know what to pick up. And then you're probably picking up things that aren't going to sell or they're going to take forever to sell. So research is so, so very important. And I guess that's why you're watching me, is to do your research. So I really do hope these videos help you out, because that's kind of why I'm here, just so that we can have our community come together and help us out with questions and research and what's selling and what's not selling and what's working for people. So I think it's just a really big thing that everyone should be doing if they want to become a successful reseller. The other thing that has helped me a ton is bulk anything. So bulk doing photos and bulk listing has really saved me a ton of time. Like on a Saturday afternoon, I will set up my photo listing and I can photograph and put them away ready for inventory and do 30 different items. And if I do that all at once, I kind of start to get into the groove and you get faster and faster and faster at it. That's another tip too. Like when I first started, I was slow. I was slow at everything. But the more you do it and the more you practice, the faster you get at it. And that's true for listing as well. So since I am a part-time reseller, I love to do bulk. I feel like it saves me a lot of time. It's also like when you do your photographs and then you go to list, we're watching, like we're like huge Seinfeld fans, and Friends, and we watch reruns of like Schitt's Creek and things like that. So then while we're just hanging out at the end of the night after everything's wind down, I could sit on my laptop and do a couple of listings, right? Or if I'm waiting at a doctor's office, I'll actually sit there and do a couple of listings. So it makes it a lot easier for me to do the bulk photographing, and then I can go back and do the listings whenever I have time. So I believe that saves me a lot, especially doing this when you already have a full-time job. My next really important thing that I think that has helped me out a ton are templates when it comes to your listings. I think the easiest way to list, if you are not using a bot to list, is listing on eBay first and then crossing it over to your other platforms. And the reason why I say that is because eBay just has so many more questions, so that when you get into Poshmark to list it, it's already there automatically. You're not asking new questions, if that makes sense. So for every, not for every item, but for most of the items, I have specific templates I use for the listings. I also have drafted a bunch of templates and just like kind of fill in the blanks on my Google Docs, where I literally just copy and paste it to help that listing go on. Otherwise, you're just repeating yourself over and over and over again, and there's no need to do that. So go ahead, whether you're making templates in the actual eBay, your actual eBay account, or if you go ahead and just make them on a Google Docs and you just go over and copy and paste, and then you can fill in the individual questions, or pardon me, the individual things, like condition and the price and whatever else that you put in there. So I think that really, really helps. And my next big thing that I think is huge, and if you decide to have anything more than 100 items in your closet at one time, you should be doing inventory. Inventory is such a lifesaver. It will save you so much time and energy and frustration. When you list that first item, start an inventory system. They're not difficult. You can go super easy or super complicated, I guess, depending on how many items. And you can grow your inventory system as you get bigger, because I started off with something different than what I'm using actually now that I have almost 400 items in my closets. So it can grow with you. But it will save you so much time and so much frustration if you start off with your inventory tracker, inventory system right away. Let's talk about some of the lows that I have experienced as a reseller in my first year, what you can expect reselling on these platforms. So my first one is time. It takes up so much time. Everything is very time consuming when it comes to reselling. And I'm talking about time to source, whether it's in person or online or in your home or your friend's closet. That takes time. Prepping items takes time that you never even knew you had to do. And so I know everyone is different and they have their own opinions on how they prep their items. But because I get most of my items from the Goodwill outlet, they are not pretty. They are pretty gross sometimes. They're pretty stinky sometimes. So I wash everything. If I can't wash it, I'll steam it. Or if I can't wash it, or if it's dry clean, I might even like soak it for 2 days in a bin. And then you have to steam it. And then you have to take the lint brush and get the lint brush off. And so get everything set up so that you can actually photograph it. Prepping items takes time. Photograph, you have to take measurements, things like that. Inventory takes time. Taking all of the stuff, I take all my stuff down to the basement for my inventory, putting it in the right bins and calculating all of that out to make sure that I have the right SKU for everything. Takes time. Listing, we all know, takes time. shipping. So whether you're getting your shipping your items out at your place, but then you also have to either drop them off at the post office or spend time making a pickup schedule for Purelator, or you have to drop them off at UPS. There's a lot of time that goes into being a reseller. Here is another little bit of a low too, is that you need space to store your items. So if you don't have that, and I have to say I'm at about 400 pieces right now, it does not take up a whole lot of space. I have like this little tiny section in my basement, and I'm literally using Amazon boxes and some random Rubbermaid bins right now just to store all my pieces. But you know what? It's working for me right now. And 400 pieces really is not taking up a whole lot of space. I would think once you get into like over 1,000 items, I feel like that would really be taking up space, and you might have to go higher, like getting shelving units instead of going like out like this, because I'm all kind of flat right now with my inventory. So I think it's fair to say getting into the 600 items, you're still pretty good with the space. But if you're wanting to get any bigger than that, you might have a problem if you don't have the space for it. Another thing that is pretty tough when it comes to reselling is slow sales. You kind of feel a little bit defeated. It is a roller coaster. I have not yet come to the point where I've had consistent sales, like over a few months period yet. Some weeks I will have so many great sales. I'll have like, 3 or 4 a day and it's going really well. And then honestly, even like this past week, my sales have sucked really, really bad. So I find it's a really big roller coaster. And I feel like when you have slow sales, you start to have like a little bit of self-doubt. Like, why am I doing this? Is it worth to put the energy in? You kind of like start to question everything you've done and how much work you've put in. That's a tough one to get through. And I'm assuming that every reseller, and you know what, honestly, every business person, whether it's a small business or big business, I guess they probably go through the same thing too. Hidden costs. Oh my, there's hidden costs. And I know I kind of touched on this before, but we're talking about, okay, so we talked about gas money, and gas wear and tear on your car. But you know what we didn't talk about either is laundry. So like I said, I wash all of my clothes. So now we're talking about my water bill. We're talking about the things that I use to like take stains out, like OxyClean, my Tide pen. I also use like the Oxy powder to soak things, laundry soap, and then of course the wear and tear on my washer and dryer. So things again that you don't really think about. And like I said before, like the eating out while sourcing, that is another kind of hidden costs that a lot of people don't really think about. And then one thing, okay, so this is another one, and I'm done. I'm done with the lows. I have one more thing to talk about, and then we'll get back into the great stuff. Burnout is real. It is so very, very real. And I mean, honestly, it's real when it comes to any business. If you're giving 150%, burnout is real. And it has happened to me this year. I will just go strong, strong, strong. And then all of a sudden I'm just exhausted and my body is telling me you have to stop. And instead of slowing down, I have to stop because I have worked over too much. I've worked too much. And then I pretty much like sink for, 2 or 3 days and I don't do anything. And I am learning to pace myself much better on it and taking some time. For instance, yesterday was Sunday and I did not get out of my pajamas all day long and it was lovely. And I even watched a movie in the afternoon. So for me, that's a really big deal because usually I'm in this room all day Saturday, all day Sunday, except for when we have hockey. I'm kind of in here doing things. And so I was pretty proud of myself yesterday for taking the time to slow down. So I'm kind of proud of myself. So I'm really trying to take time to take a break from this because between full-time work and then doing this, I really need to teach myself how to not give 150% all the time because I just don't have it. So that was all the bad things, but you know what? I love doing this. I love the whole aspect of reselling because there's so many different parts to it, which is kind of cool. So you're not constantly like sitting at a desk in front of the computer. You get to go sourcing. You're learning about clothes. I am not a fashion person. I've never been a fashion person. And I said it before, I will live in Erie all day long for the rest of my life. I have no problem with that. But I have learned so many things when it comes to just even fashion, marketing, the business of fashion marketing. You learn all these textiles and you know what kind of sleeves these are and what kind of collars they are. And, I do enjoy learning because I'm older and I don't go to school for anything anymore. So I really do enjoy learning all of these things. And I also enjoy having you here with me and meeting new people. And I know I'm not meeting you all face to face, but I do enjoy like the community that we have and watching other YouTubers as well and getting to know them through the community of reselling has been really great. And I just love to do that. I'm also really proud, and I've never really thought of this. I used to shop thrift stores all the time, not all the time, but I would go and thrift mostly for Halloween clothes and things like that. Or if there was something specific I was looking for. Now that I am like a reseller, I'm really into it. I'm really proud of the fact that we are saving these items. It is insane the amount of clothing that goes into landfills. Like insane. I had no idea. So there is a part of me that I am very proud of what we're doing because we are bringing new life to a lot of these items. The shirt I'm wearing, this is a Gap shirt and in perfect condition. And I needed one and I saved it. Instead of going and buying a brand new one, I found one in perfect condition and I saved it from the landfill and from our environment and everything like that. So I'm a little bit proud of that as well. That's what we are doing. All right, let's move on to, we're going to talk about my fastest selling items. So this is a good one. These are items that have either sold in 0 to 7 days. I'm not going to go through the stats on them. I just wanted to really talk about the brand and the actual item that sold. So first up is this Cause dress. This I found at Talese. Never found this brand before, and I've only found it once since then. Next up is this Spanx dress. It was actually in red. I found this at a local thrift store, and I do believe this one only took 1 or 2 days to sell. Here was another great item that sold. This is a Free People blouse, kind of tunic type thing. You can even wear it as a dress. Next up, this is men's Vuori hoodie. I found this one at the bins. I was so excited. This is my very first time I ever found Vuori, and I have not found a Vuori since, but that's okay. This one sold, I believe it was just under 7 days. Next up were these sandals. I was really shocked about this. I found these at just a regular Goodwill, but they were in new condition. I didn't have a box for them, but like new condition. And they sold for a good price and also with less than 7 days. And this next piece was the one that I was talking about, the Lululemon. This was from my personal closet, this kind of corduroy jacket zipper. This was a very good sale for me because I didn't have anything into it. So I think I ended up making almost $50 in profit off of this jacket. And I think it sold in 4 days. So I was really happy about that as well. I'm going to talk about some Bolos. If you're not familiar with a Bolo, it's called Be on the Lookout For. And I do have a couple of things that I am still in the hunt for, and I've never found them before in my life. But then also I have a few things and few brands that I have found and can't wait to find again. So going back to Vuori, such a very good selling brand right now. The men's sell even better than the women's currently, so keep your eye out for that. Cause, again, is another great brand. It's a very minimalistic, like kind of login look brand. I will pick up probably anything for Cause as long as it's in good shape with no flaws or anything like that. Smartwool is another great brand to be on the lookout for, especially when it comes to this time of the year. But also there's a couple other base brands that you can look out for as well, or base layer brands. That's what Smartwool is. Just be very, very careful because a lot of the base layers will have a lot of holes in them. So just kind of keep an eye out for that as well. Love Shack Fancy, I have never found before, and this is definitely on my list of things that I would love, love, love to find. People People talk about them a lot and how the sell-through rate is like through the roof. Suit Supply. This was one that had popped up. A person had made a comment in a past YouTube video. We were talking about blazers and men's things. Suit Supply is a brand that does men's suits and blazers and things like that. They resell for a lot of money, and the sell-through rate is very fast. Have not found that yet and can't wait to find it one day. And then also Faraday. Have never found this brand before, but I'm always on the lookout for it. I don't know if it's more readily available in the States maybe, or a place that has like a bigger city like Toronto, but haven't found one of those yet either. So that's just a little taste of some Bolos that I have found and some Bolos that I can't wait to find one day. All right, we're just about finished here with the video, but I really wanted to take this time to go over my top tips. Everybody has their top tips on reselling, and here are mine, and hopefully this can help you in your future reselling business. First up, the Poshmark Autobot. There was no question about it that I picked it up. I had no problem paying for it. Again, I said Prime Lister is one of the cheapest ones out there. If you are bringing in enough profit, I would think that it's just a no-brainer. Go for it. Do it. There's free trials as well for a ton of the bots, so give it a try and see what you think. Consistency. If you are up and down, the algorithm does not like that. You need to be consistent on every platform, all the time, every day if possible. You need to be sending offers consistently. You need to be listing consistently. You need to be sharing consistently, and keep all of that up. You will sell more items if you are consistent. People might not agree with this on the next one, but sell what you like to list. Otherwise, you will have a ginormous death pile, and you do not want that. I don't like to list shoes, and it's not like I don't like to list shoes. I don't like to take pictures of them. So that's another thing too. Don't sell and pick up things that you do not like to photograph, because again, you will have a major death pile. There are lots and lots of items out there that you will love to list and you will love to find and you will love to photograph. Stick with those. So pick up and list what you like. I believe, and not a lot of people believe this, the more you list, the more you will sell. I have found that since I've gotten to my 300 item mark in my closet, and I am now trying to list anywhere from 3 to 5 items per day, I feel like I'm getting in a lot more sales. So I know a lot of people don't believe that, but maybe it's just at the point that I'm at right now. I think there's a couple of things that when I list more, I sell more. And it might be because I'm getting better at sourcing. I'm faster at it. I've had a lot of practice now. And so maybe I'm picking up items that just sell better than they used to. Well, actually, I am picking up items that sell more than the items I sold or I picked up 12 months ago that are still sitting in my closet. So a lot of people will say it's not about how many you list, it's about what you're listing. And obviously that comes into play as well. But I do feel like when I started to pick up my daily listings, my sales did start to rise as well. Accept your offers, keep your closets moving. You know, you might really want to sell that item for $20, but if you haven't had sales in a couple of days, or the item has been sitting around and you got an offer for $16, take it. Let's take it. Let's move on. I mean, it's not going to happen with every single item that you have. I know you're going to have a lot of big ticket items, but when it comes to those items, like I feel like that are $30 and low for a sale, keep your items moving. Keep the algorithm happy. Show sales in your closet will bring more buyers to your closet as well. The algorithm will like that, and you know, it'll keep going. Research, we talked about this already. Keep up your research. And back to again with the sourcing, the more you source, the better you will get. So like when I first started sourcing, especially when I'm talking about the Goodwill outlet bins, the first few times I went there, I was finding crap. Like there was nothing there. And I'm like, I can't find this. And I can't even pick up a Lululemon. And all these other people are getting these really great items and I'm coming up with like nil, like nothing, no great sell-through rates, no great sales. But the last I would say 2 months, maybe even 3 months, I'm getting great finds at the bins. And it's just because I have practice now. I see things and I grab, because I just know that that's a linen piece. So I grab it. Or out of the corner of my eye, I saw that Lululemon logo and I just grabbed it. So the more you source, the better you will get at it. And you will find these pieces that are just buried under things, or you will go through the racks much, much quicker, but you will find all the good stuff as well. So keep it up. Don't get disappointed. The more you source, the better you will get at it. I promise. And I'm just going to touch a second on AI. I know this has been really big lately. A lot of people are talking about using AI for your reselling business. And I think it is a great idea, especially people who have brain fog, or they're trying to figure out how to list an item, or trying to learn new keywords. I know AI is not correct all the time, so you do have to take it with a grain of salt. I will be coming out with a video very, very soon on how I use AI in my reselling business and how it's helped me. But try it out, play with it, see how it works for your reselling business, because it has helped me quite a bit. All right, let's wrap up this video. I really do appreciate you hanging out with me today. Goals that I've had for the next year. I'm really excited to see how eBay international shipping goes. I have been approved for that two or 3 weeks ago. I have not sold one on the international eBay shipping yet, but I am very anxious to see if that can pick up our sales on eBay. I love doing YouTube channel, and I had no idea I would actually really enjoy this as much as I do, because I'm not really one to come on, and I was scared at first to come on and talk to just my camera, right, or my phone. But I have gotten so comfortable creating these YouTube channels, and I really want to grow on the channel. So that is definitely going to be a goal in my year 2 of reselling. Just the fact of being able to teach more people, educating more, or just showing you what has happened to me. I'm also working on a couple of maybe classes or courses, or some more education for everyone. So that is definitely in my very, very near future. I'm also still very patiently waiting to get on Poshmark US. I don't know if that will ever happen anytime soon, but that is always a goal of mine. I always do have that in the back of my mind. Hopefully one day we can get back into Poshmark US as Canadians. And again, still working to become a full-time reseller. That is my ultimate goal. I really did think that by the end of 2025, I was going to be able to do it. But life happens and things don't go exactly the way you planned it to go. But that is my ultimate goal, and I know I will get to it one day. Just sometimes it's not as fast as you may like it to be, and I'm okay with that. So those are my goals for my year 2 of reselling. Drop down in the comments below, what are your goals? Maybe just even for the next few months till the end of 2025. Do you guys have big goals to become a full-time reseller? Or are you just looking to improve your side hustle? I would love to hear about it. I'd love to hear what you guys are working on and what your journey is like as well. I love reading all the comments. So please comment below. Let me know how everything's going for you. Before I wrap everything up, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for being on this channel and coming on and watching me and commenting and liking. It has made reselling that much more fun for me. I really do enjoy doing this YouTube channel, and I hope you guys enjoy watching it as much as I like working on it. I am so grateful for all of you being part of this reselling community, and having this channel really does keep me motivated and wanting to create more things and become even more of a successful reseller. So thank you all so much again. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, comment below and let me know what you thought about my first year of reselling. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. Until next time, happy reselling.